Dominica presents its 2026 Junior Calypso Booyah Monarch this Friday, February 6th, Windsor Park Stadium, Carnival City from 5 p.m. Defending Junior Calypso Monarch, Queen Melody from the Dominica Grammar School will face Eli from the Goodwill Secondary, the Reverend from Page Primary, Damia from Goodwill Secondary, Tiny M from Grand Bay Primary School, Mighty Jewel from the Convent High School, and Lady Calypso from Portsmouth Secondary School. Onto the Junior Booyah Monarch, Kim Possible from the Convent High School, King Zaya, Goodwill Secondary, Rinsapop, St. Luke's Primary, Ali the Star from the Goodwill Secondary, Jerky representing the Isaiah Thomas Secondary, Little D, Grand Bay Primary, and Nasha Nova from Portsmouth Secondary School. The Junior Calypso Booyah Monarch this Friday from 5 p.m. Thanks to our valued sponsors, Do It Center, Do It Best, KFC, Quapitor, S-Mart, Springfield Trading, The Glam, The Signman, Josephine Gabriel, Rapid Response, NCCU, Avid Designs, Republic Bank, Lions Club of Dominica, Bullseye Pharmacy, Lindomar, TBS Radio, Banana Tree, and Dexia. Leo Club of Dominica presents its 2026 Junior Calypso Booyah Monarch this Friday, February 6th, Windsor Park Stadium, Carnival City from 5 p.m. Defending Junior Calypso Monarch, Queen Melody from the Dominica Grammar School will face Eli from the Goodwill Secondary, the Reverend from Page Primary, Damia from Goodwill Secondary, Tiny M from Grand Bay Primary School, Mighty Jewel from the Convent High School, and Lady Calypso from Portsmouth Secondary School. Onto the Junior Booyah Monarch, Kim Possible from the Convent High School, King Zaya, Goodwill Secondary, Rinsapop, St. Luke's Primary, Ali the Star from the Goodwill Secondary, Jerky representing the Isaiah Thomas Secondary, Little D, Grand Bay Primary, and Nasha Nova from Portsmouth Secondary School. The Junior Calypso Booyah Monarch this Friday from 5 p.m. Thanks to our valued sponsors, Do It Center, Do It Best, KFC, Quapitor, S-Mart, Springfield Trading, The Glam, The Signman, Josephine Gabriel, Rapid Response, NCCU, Avid Designs, Republic Bank, Lions Club of Dominica, Bullseye Pharmacy, Lindomar, TBS Radio, Banana Tree, and Dexia.
All right, Dominica, the big show this afternoon. There's the Junior Monarch. The young Calypsonians will be batting all afternoon long. And that's from 5. There's Bouillon, there's Calypso. On the line with me for the first 5 minutes is Mr. Leo Turgi, Banis, I think, from the Leo Club. Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing today? How are you?
Good afternoon, Matt. I'm doing well.
You're doing well. You're full of energy for the show this afternoon?
Yes, big things happening today.
Big things. All right. Explain to us, what is the process this afternoon there? We have a big Calypso show. We have a big Bouillon show with the young people. Tell us what's going on.
Okay, so today we have 14 participants from around Dominica, 7 in the Bouillon, 7 in the Calypso, who will come together to showcase their talents tonight at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium at 5 p.m. So let us come out and support these young people and their talents. It's one show, 2 crowns, and that's Junior Calypso Booyah Monarch.
All right, give us the names of the participants.
Excuse?
Give me the names of the participants, both Bouillon and Calypso.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, go ahead.
So for the Calypso segment, we have Amina Hanpie, stage name Lady Calypso from the Portsmouth Secondary School. We have a song entitled Who Is to Blame, and it's written by Claire Jacobs. Then for contestant number 2, we have Bijou Nicholas, stage name Mighty Jewel from the Convent High School, with the song entitled Flight of the Young People, written by Tyrone Nicholas. And for participant number 3 in the Calypso segment, we have Maria Cedric, stage name Tiny M, in the Grand Bay Primary School, with a song entitled Stop the Bullying, and it's written by Tasha P. Contestant number 4, we have Nadina Kazemi, stage name Dana, from the Goodwill Secondary School, with a song entitled Back to Basics, written by Merle Eustache. For contestant number 5, we have Malik Farrell G. Reverend, from the Paybush Primary School, the song entitled Rise Up, written by Gillian Alexander, Kyle Farrell, and Nadia Farrell. For contestant number 6, we have Elijah Nichols, stage name Eli, from the Goodwill Secondary School, song titled Think for Yourself, written by Harold Seeley, writer. And finally, we have our reigning Calypso monarch, Faith Chenville, stage name Queen Melody, from the Dominica Grammar School, with a song entitled Tomorrow, written by Trilogy and Father Branco. And those are the contestants for the Calypso segment of the show.
It looks like it's gonna be a big competition this afternoon with the young people.
There's a very big competition because I'm showcasing talent.
And you're encouraging all the young people to come support. Tell us about the price of the tickets and where we can find the tickets right now.
So the tickets are $15 for sitting and for children, and $25 for adult standing. Those are for the regular tickets, regular. 15 for the regular for children, 25 regular for the adults. And for sitting, we have $25 for children and $40 for adult sitting. So those are the price tickets. They can be purchased at the stadium.
Right now, as we speak.
At the ticket booth.
Or the ticket booth right now, as we speak. You have people selling tickets right now?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Leo, I want to say thank you. And of course, continue the good work there with the Leo Club. I'll try my very best to be, and I think I will be at the stadium this afternoon to support the young people. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Leo Club representative. Calypso competition. The young people will be batting all afternoon long from 5. Go support the young folks. The young people are bowling.
The man batting for too long, but taking no score. So bowling, just bowling.
A big show from the stadium from 1. Stick around.
Dominica presents the 2026 Junior Calypso Monarch this Friday, February 6th, Windsor Park Stadium, Carnival City, from 5 p.m. Defending Junior Calypso Monarch, Queen Melody from the Dominica Grammar School will face Eli from the Goodwill Secondary, the Reverend from Paybush Primary, Tamia from Goodwill Secondary, Tiny M from Granby Primary School, Mighty Jewel from the Convent High School, and Lady Kaiso from Portsmouth Secondary School. Onto the Junior Booyah Monarch, Kim Possible from the Convent High School, King Zaya, Goodwill Secondary, Rinsapop, St. Luke's Primary, Ali the Star from the Goodwill Secondary, Jerky representing the Isaiah Thomas Secondary, Little D, Granby Primary, and Nasha Nova from Portsmouth Secondary School. The Junior Calypso Booyah Monarch this Friday from 5 p.m. Thanks to our valued sponsors, Do It Center, Do It Best, KFC, Swap It All, S-Mart, Springfield Trading, The Glam, The Sign Man, Josephine Gabriel, Rapid Response, NCCU, Avid Designs, Republic Bank, Lions Club of Dominica, Bullseye Pharmacy, Lindomar, TBS Radio, Banana Tree, and Dexia. Come to the home of the real mass, Dominica's Carnival, January 10th to February 18th. Mass 2026. Book your flight today. For more information, DominicaFestivals.com. The land of Bouillon invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural experience. The Real Mass Dominica's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com. The land of Bouillon invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural experience. The Real Mass Dominica's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com.
All right, Dominica, we're here for the next few minutes here with more now. Talking about the carnival activities. What is to come for the big Queen show coming up just now. The ladies are ready. You are ready, I hope. And of course, all the visitors I see around. So people are coming in for the big fete 2026. Monel is here from the DFC communication specialist here. Good afternoon to you. How you doing?
Good afternoon to you, Matt, and good afternoon to all the listeners of Q95. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday and gearing up for yet another amazing Mass Dominique. I know a lot of you have been attending the different pageants and competitions, and you're in the season, you're in the mood to have an explosive Carnival experience on Monday and Tuesday, February 16th and 17th. Thank you very much for inviting me here. How are you doing, Matt?
You're welcome. You're welcome. I see you have a lot of energy buzzing there for this Carnival season. Where's this energy coming from?
It's in the food I ate.
The food you eat. Okay.
But it's exciting and I love what I do. So if you love what you do, then communicating what you love is easy.
It becomes part of you.
That is correct.
Okay. So what is on for this weekend?
All right, so we're getting set for the Mass Dominique, or rather for Carnival Monday and Tuesday. I'm here to speak to you on three things. One, Carnival Monday and Tuesday. The other, the Miss Dominica Carnival Queen pageant that's happening next week. And then, of course, Sunrise, the biggest fete in Dominica. Want to touch on that as well. So firstly, want to touch on the Miss Dominica Carnival Queen pageant. We've launched, you've seen the ladies. They've participated in several interviews. From a Discover Dominica Authority standpoint, through the Dominica Festivals Committee, we've played our part. We've ensured that the contestants have gone through thorough interview panels with different individuals. They had training with walking. They had reviews of different queen shows. So preparations from our end have been done. And of course, with their team, they're doing a lot as well.
So you think they're ready?
Yes, I believe they are ready for the competition. And based on the conversations or the buzz out there, people can see that the ladies are ready for the competition. Something I will plug in before I go any further. Keep in mind, being on stage is not an easy activity. Nerves, a lot of things can go wrong on the night of the show, but when we support and celebrate people who are on stage and performing, it motivates the individuals. So keep in mind, even if you're there for one particular individual, it's a good idea to support all the young ladies, even if your clap is not as thunderous as it is for your particular contestant. I encourage everyone to support each of the ladies on a stage.
Tell us a little more about the ladies. Yes. Tell us a little more about the ladies.
That said, we have 5 contestants competing for the Miss Dominica Carnival Queen competition. Contestant number 1 out of Granby, Miss Denisha Yuzeb. Contestant number 2, also representing Granby, is Dana Eugene. We have out of Jimitan St. Joseph, Shireen Mills. Representing Atkinson in the Kalanago territory, we have Dana Grano, and from Crayfish River and the Kalanago territory, Sanshia Tyson. So these are the contestants for vying for the title of Miss Dominica 2026. The show is taking place next week, Thursday. That is Thursday the 12th, We start at 8 p.m. Keep in mind, with the first round of the competition is the interview round. And I know this is one round that persons pay particular attention to.
To every word.
Yes. So if you do not want to miss that round, I encourage you to come early, because after the opening number, we have the question and answer round. So there's a question and answer. There is the talent, national spectacular wear, swimwear, and the evening wear. And this year's theme is Booyah in Bloom, or rather Booyah Bloom. We celebrate all things Booyah music. So we're mixing Booyah with pageantry. You will see a few Booyah artists on stage performing as well for the Miss Dominica pageant. You will see elements of Dominica's Booyah music. As we know, Booyah is not soca. So Booyah in its full bloom and its full majesty will be live on stage for the Miss Dominica Carnival Queen pageant. Tickets, they are available right now. So I do encourage you to get your tickets and get them early. If you want to stand, tickets only $65. Standing. If you want to sit, then it's 100 EC dollars. And for VIP, then tickets are 250 EC dollars. VIP this year has been upgraded. It is going to be better than years prior. For the VIP, there's the elevated seating. You have ushers. There's a special menu. You have your bars and your food stalls near you. So there's a different feel for persons in VIP. Also fun to note, you have access to the front of the stage and the left and the right side of the grounds. So imagine the stage, you at the front, you're moving to the left, you move it down the right. So you have that feel. So you have interaction with the crowd on both sides of the field or the event venue, and also to the front of stage as well. You have that access. Again, it's only 250 EC dollars. Tickets, two location options. One, at our office. We're located on Great Marlborough Street in Roseau. And you can also get your tickets online at dominicafestivals.com. The Miss Dominica Carnival Queen pageant is one that she is going to be very memorable. I hear a lot of buzz. A lot of people are talking about the contestants, and persons have already identified who they think is going to be the winner of the competition. But keep in mind, consistency wins the crown, and the judge's decision is
final. All right. Well, I suspect the big show coming up.
You should be coming to the Queen Show as well, Matt.
Of course.
I will plug in. Queen Show is not just for ladies.
Once you invite me, I'll come.
You're invited.
All right. Thank you. I'll make it.
Wonderful.
So tell me, what's we're gonna move to, of course, the Carnival Monday and Tuesday and more.
Yes. So before Carnival Monday and Tuesday, the following day on Friday the 13th, we have Sunrise.
Oh, Sunrise! That's a big activity.
Fete. Yes. Sunrise is the biggest fete on the calendar. Now, Sunrise is one that starts about 10 p.m. in the evening, 9 to 10 p.m. in the evening, and we end the following morning, Sunday, or rather Saturday morning, at 10 a.m. So it's 10 to 10. This is the Sunrise feel that you're going to experience. At Sunrise last year, we had over 5,000 attendees.
5,000?
Yes. So the space, we were at the forecourt of the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. The venue was too small. So we have relocated to the ground. This is where Carnival City is currently. So there's more space. So the VIP is going to be elevated. The experience is going to be elevated. Of course, you will see the signage. You will see the first aid if you need some support, whatever the case may be. That is there for you. And the lineup is wonderful. On the lineup for Sunrise, we have DJ MJ and MV on the keys, DJ Taffy and Friends, Rio, Guada G, Trilogy, Muddy out of Grenada, Ricky T out of St. Lucia, Lyrical from Trinidad, DJ Big Boss out of St. Martin, and King James also from St. Martin. We have from Dominica, we have our Booyah artists, Rhythm Knockers, Strix and Hussey, TK International, Pooders, Unstoppable DJs. Out of Sweden, we have DJ Stella, we have Kenny G, we have Ridge, we have Eddie out of Guadeloupe. So this plus more artists, so that's not all. And keep in mind, Sunrise is a party. There is no MC on stage for Sunrise. So it's one act after the other, one energy after the other. So
you need energy for that.
Yes.
You need
In
a lot of
Dominica,
energy.
we encourage persons who are coming to Dominica that when they're coming here, they need to rest first, take their vitamins prior to coming to Dominica.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Dominica, we party differently. We believe in bathing, guys, critical, bathing, getting dressed, and moving out and enjoying our time out there in Dominica. So tickets for the Sunrise Experience, it is available as we speak. And there's very limited VIP tickets left for Sunrise. Sunrise VIP tickets, it stands at 500 EC dollars.
And it's limited.
Very limited, very, very few tickets, probably less than 100 tickets. It's probably too much, less than 50 tickets. Yeah, about less than 50 tickets available for VIP Sunrise. The others have been sold out. So get your tickets early. VIP Sunrise, again, 500 EC dollars. General admission is 200 EC dollars, likely more at the door. So it's a great idea to get your tickets early in advance for Sunrise. And of course, at the gate, I said it's more likely a $50 bump in the price at the gate. So do yourself a favor, save the $50 for drinks, for lipstick, to buy something for yourself, and get your tickets early. They are at our office at Great Marlborough Street and also on our website,
And how much is it? How much are these tickets?
www.dominicafestivals.com. Again, VIP $500, general admission $200, at the gate $250 EC dollars.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. I think you have energy, but we'll take a break. Give you some time to drink some water. We'll be back.
The land of New York invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural experience. The Real Mass Dominic's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com.
That's a lot of activity for the Carnival. Let's go to Carnival Monday.
Monday and Tuesday. Now, first and foremost, before I go into Monday and Tuesday, I will say that Discover Dominica Authority, our team has been very busy over the past few weeks traveling, promoting Carnival. So we have been promoting Carnival as we do for all the other events very extensively. So we had teams traveling to Guadeloupe, to Martinique, to St. Lucia, Antigua, St. Martin. We had promotions in other parts of the Caribbean as well.
Mm-hmm.
So our team has been working very hard to ensure we have yet another successful Mass Dominic experience. This is going to be another one for the books. So, of course, Carnival Monday, February 16th in Dominica. J'ouvert, we start at 4 a.m. in the morning. So Monday, we start at 4 a.m., likely to end at 10 p.m. If the police allows us more time, we will love that. Thank you very much for last year. By the way, police, thank you so much. And if you want to extend to 11 again this year, we accept. We're not going to challenge you. Do consider that very heavily.
But behave yourself.
Of course, I want to plug in. People have been behaving themselves through Carnival. In fact, Dominica's Carnival is among the safest carnivals in the region. If you note, last year in particular, individuals felt so safe in Dominica that they wore all their jewelry out, all their 2-pounders, 3-pounders in their necks and other parts of their body. They carried their jewelry and they were safe. We heard very little of crime and violence in Dominica's Carnival. So that safety will continue. We anticipate that continuing into this year. I want to thank all those of you who played your part to ensure that our Carnival remains safe. Also, thank you to the police, fire and ambulance, and of course the Red Cross and all the other persons who support the Carnival to ensure that it maintains its safety. So it's at J'ouvert at 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. Of course, we have the electronic bands. They will come out about 8 a.m. in the morning, so we can experience that. From 11 a.m., there is the youth mass, and the youth mass is then followed by the traditional mass. So at traditional mass, that's where you'll see all the cultural characters and the performances. They will animate the capital. Keep in mind, for those of you who are listening right now, in Dominica, our carnival is not centralized as the other islands in the region. In Dominica, our carnival spreads throughout the entire island. So think you can start your J'ouvert experience in Portsmouth, the north of the island. By the way, Portsmouth J'ouvert is one that you would love to experience. You would really enjoy. So J'ouvert, you can start your J'ouvert experience in Portsmouth.
How do you know that?
I'm from Portsmouth.
I know that.
I've jumped J'ouvert in Portsmouth. My people have vibes. So
Okay.
you can start your Juve experience in Portsmouth, the north of Dominica. By 10 a.m., you could be in Dubla. By 1 p.m., you could be in Maho. By 3 p.m., you could be Roseau, the capital city. By the way, the capital has the biggest carnival experience in Dominica. So if you do want that full carnival experience, then you should consider coming to the capital city, that is Roseau. And then in the evening, you can close carnival in Dominica in South City Grand Bay. This is the sort of experience you have in Dominica. Or carnival is not centralized. It is all inclusive. You can come, you can, regardless of where you stay in Dominica, you're guaranteed to have a wonderful carnival experience. So I just mentioned Carnival Monday. We start at 4 p.m. We end at 10 p.m. On a Carnival Tuesday, we start at 10 a.m. We start with the winners parade. We encourage you to come out, come with your cameras, support the individuals who have participated in different competitions. They will be out there putting on a display for us, so we should come out and support them. And then from that, we have the contemporary bands joining in. And of course, we have the pretty mass. So that's where you see all the different feather bands coming through the capital. And of course, we end with the last lap. Carnival ends at 10 p.m. This is a Carnival Tuesday. The route remains the same. Independence Street, King George V Street, Bayfront onto Kennedy Avenue, and we go around. So this is the route for Carnival in Dominica Monday and Tuesday. Now, if you're in Dominica for Carnival and you want to chill, you want to unwind, you're tired a bit, we got you covered because we have 2 chill zones that you can explore. One is at the Winter Park Sports Stadium and the other is at the Promenade. What can you expect at the chill zone? One, there's music, so the carnival feel still continues, so it's not a dead space. So there's music, there's food vendors, there's washrooms, there's refreshment areas if you want to touch up your makeup and the likes, you can do that as well. From there, now, if you cannot come to Dominica for some strange reason for the Mass Dominic experience, we will be carrying Carnival live on our social media platforms. So you can follow Dominica Festivals on Facebook for live coverage of Mass Dominic, and the media partners in Dominica, Q95, Carry FM, DNO, MO News, and the likes, DBS Radio. They also broadcast Mass Dominic live, so you will not miss a beat. And keep in mind also, if you're coming to Dominica and you do not know how to get here, getting to Dominica is easier than before. You do have options to get to Dominica. There's a ferry you can take from Guadeloupe, Martinique, or Lucia. Of course, if you're in America, there's American Airlines out of Miami. There's United Airlines out of Newark, New Jersey. And of course, there's many regional carriers. There's Contour Airlines, Win Air, Intercaribbean Airways, Sunrise, Liat Air. So we do have options. And fun fact, I heard that in some countries, flights are filled for Dominica, the Mass Dominic experience. So we should be seeing, as per usual, an influx of persons to Dominica for the Mass Dominic experience. I'm encouraging our vendors, please, please, please remember, we are the authority. We bring them into the country for the carnival experience, but the experience that they have depends largely on you and the service that you provide. So it is critical, even if you're upset, you had a bad day, things are not going your way, please smile to the people. If they ask to use your restroom, please do not look at their color or based on their color, allow them to do put certain things. Treat everyone pleasantly so they can speak well about our country and they can return to Dominica, because the fact is, Carnival helps all of us in some way, shape, or form, be it directly or indirectly. So please, I'm encouraging everyone to do your part, do our part to ensure we have a successful Mass Dominic experience. I'm also encouraging everyone who's coming to Dominica for Carnival, remember your flags on the road for Carnival. Keep in mind, we do have lots of foreigners coming to Dominica. St. Lucians come out in their large numbers. You see big St. Lucian flags. Grenadians are coming through with their flags. Antiguans are coming through with their flags. Lots of these islanders, they're also doing activations in Dominica. As an authority, when we travel, we do promotions in the different countries. In turn, when they come to our events, they will do promotions too. You are encouraged to participate and support them because they support us when we travel as well. So when they come to Dominica, you see all their flags. We don't want all the videos when they're out. All we see is St. Lucia, Antigua, and the likes. We want to see the land of Bouillon Dominica flags out there. I'm encouraging the persons with the trucks, ensure we have a flag on every truck. So when the drones are out there in the air and they capture those photos, we have flags and we look beautiful from the sky like we normally do. And of course, everyone, young or old, I see Matt is looking at me, and I know I like to talk a lot when I talk about Dominican Carnival. So I'm encouraging everyone to come out and support Dominica's Carnival. And if you need support for Carnival, our concierge team, they are on standby to assist you. So tell your friends, your neighbors, your cousins, your aunties, then there's a number and an email that they can tap into if they need support. They can call 1767-275-7298 or 1767-275-7293, or shoot us an email, daconcierge1@discoverdominica.dm or daconcierge2@discoverdominica.dm. And of course, they will get support with travel and everything else that they need support for. Also, if you need support in traveling for Dominica when you get here, we do have a list of cabbies that we'll be posting on our social media platforms, that is Dominica Festivals. So we have a list of taxi operators that you can tap into if you need transportation. And also our bus services, they travel around the clock. So moving around Dominica for the carnival season is easy. Keep in mind, we support everyone. We're going to as much events as possible. Matt is looking at me like I need to wrap up. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna pause.
You're gonna pause?
Pausing.
Pause. Drink some water quickly and go ahead.
I have no water to
1
drink.
minute.
1 minute wrap up. Okay.
Yes.
So my final wrap up for 1 minute, I want to encourage each and every one of you on behalf of Discover Dominica Authority and the Ministry of Tourism to come out and support Dominica for our carnival experience. This is not a product, even if we are the one producing the product. This is a national event. It belongs to us. So I'm encouraging each and every one of you to come out and support in some way, shape, or form. Keep in mind, too, support also means that you are celebrating each other. Support also means that we're servicing our tourists, our visitors well. Support also means that we are playing our part to ensure Dominica remains safe. We say throughout all of our marketing that Dominica's Carnival, it is safe, it is affordable, it's inclusive, and it is authentic. So this is the thing that we're pushing, and we need your help, your support to ensure that message continues. So we look forward to seeing you in Dominica for Carnival. And if you need more information, we got you. I'll be back next week with more information on Mass Dominic. Matt, thank you.
She's the Energizer Bunny. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The land of Bouillon invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural experience. The Real Mass Dominica's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com. The land of Bouillon invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural experience. The Real Mass Dominica's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com. The land of Bouillon invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural experience. The Real Mass Dominica's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com. The land of Bouillon invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural experience. The Real Mass Dominica's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com. The land of Bouillon invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural Experience the Real Mass Dominica's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com. The land of Bouillon invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural experience. The Real Mass Dominica's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com. The land of Bouillon invites you to immerse yourself in a diverse cultural experience. The Real Mass Dominica's Carnival, January 10, February 18, 2026. See you there. More information available at www.dominicafestivals.com. The Leo Club of Dominica presents the 2026 Junior Calypso Bouillon Monarch this Friday, February 6th, Windsor Park Stadium, Carnival City from 5 p.m. Defending Junior Calypso Monarch, Queen Melody from the Dominica Grammar School will face Eli from the Goodwill Secondary, the Reverend from Paybush Primary, Damia from Goodwill Secondary, I am from Convent Primary School, Mighty Jewel from the Convent High School, and Lady Calypso from Portsmouth Secondary School. Onto the Junior Bouillon Monarch, Kim Possible from the Convent High School, King Zaya, Goodwill Secondary, Rinsapok, St. Luke's Primary, Ali the Star from the Goodwill Secondary, Jerky representing the Isaiah Thomas Secondary, Little D, Grand Bay Primary, and Nasha Nova from Portsmouth Secondary School. The Junior Calypso Bouillon Monarch this Friday from 5 p.m. Thanks to our valued sponsors, To It Center, To Best KFC, Swapito, S-Mart, Springfield Trading, The Glam, The Signman, Josephine Gabriel, Rapid Response, NCCU, Avid Designs, Republic Bank, Lions Club of Dominica, Bullseye Pharmacy, Lindomar, TBS Radio, Banana Tree, and Dexia. Leo Club of Dominica presents the 2026 Junior Calypso Bouillon Monarch this Friday, February 6th, Windsor Park Stadium, Carnival City from 5 p.m. Defending Junior Calypso Monarch, Queen Melody from the Dominica Grammar School will face Eli from the Goodwill Secondary, the Reverend from Paybush Primary, Damia from Goodwill Secondary, Tiny M from Grand Bay Primary School, Mighty Jewel Convent High School, and Lady Calypso from Portsmouth Secondary School. Onto the Junior Bouillon Monarch, Kim Possible from the Convent High School, King Zaya, Goodwill Secondary, Rinsapok, St. Luke's Primary, Ali the Star from the Goodwill Secondary, Jerky representing the Isaiah Thomas Secondary, Little D, Grand Bay Primary, and Nasha Nova from Portsmouth Secondary School. The Junior Calypso Bouillon Monarch this Friday from 5 p.m. Thanks to our valued sponsors, To It Center, To It Best KFC, Swapito, S-Mart, Springfield Trading, The Glam, The Signman, Josephine Gabriel, Rapid Response, NCCU, Avid Designs, Republic Bank, Lions Club of Dominica, Bullseye Pharmacy, Lindomar, TBS Radio, Banana Tree, and Dexia.
Okay, your roof leaking and your house flooding. Fix it.
Extenso Power, Net of Reef Restaurant and Bar presents Calypso on the Reef Volume 2 this Sunday, February 8th, 7 p.m. at the Net of Reef Restaurant and Bar, Calibishi Flats, featuring Monax, Sally Chess, Bob Observer, Caress, and JD Dasher. The sensational Count for Peace Sign, National Reds Avia, Mystery Sandy, Mighty D Checker, Mama B Baba. Back to by the mighty swinging stars and powered by DJ Power Sounds. Also DJ Stick, MC The Weber. Entrance only $20. Water Kaiso Fiesta. Botambo Kaiso Bomachi. Peach water, Chateau water, goat water, and the famous gin distilled in Calypso. Partners include Dream Car Rental, Bella Villa, the Dominican Calypso Association, and more.
Commissioner Emlita, the vagrants in Rosa hustle in the stories.
What a case of party mission this Sunday, Calypso. Lego jacket bacchanal. Calypso guy show. Moi, Kayla. Nous toutes, Kayla.
Calypso.
Oh, KFC. Ooh, oh, KFC. Looking for some to go. Needles for soul. KFC. Grab your family and your friends. Join in the experience. KFC. It's the best to be for you and me. KFC. KFC. It's finger licking good.
On the border sweeping. If you look about one Belfast to sell, your pay, your good. Yo pays, yo goût, nous avons one Belfast, tout ça, toute fête, toute Belfast. Shock them!
Anytime, whatever you doing, stop. You confirm to exercise your right, your vote, your party, your responsibility. This fresh confirmation process gives you the power and authority to choose your candidate. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't let it pass you by. Go exercise your right. Dépôt fait ça, on bouge vote. Récomptez toujours devant. Your vote is important. Make it count. You make first communion. Now is your time to confirm. To vote. Look back and shut your T-boy Lucia Kami already confirmed. Hurry, join the confirmation process. Make sure your name is big and bold on the electors list. Go and register in your minds that you can go. Make sure you work with your witness from your polling station who is already registered. Do it early, do it fast, do it now. Call the confirmation hotline at 617-9595-275-8164. Do it because that makes you 100% Dominican.
All right, Dominica, we're here. Don't think we have gone away. We're here. This is the Talk on the Block. And with us, as promised, is the leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. But before I introduce Dr. Fontaine, I want us to review because we're now in the. Everybody been talking about registration, confirmation. I spoke briefly to the chief chief election officer. Sorry. Because there was worry about persons registering. And the final announcement came that a new registration will commence in the March month, the 9th of March. Let's listen to the chief election officer, Anthony Joseph.
Now pleased to report that these changes have now been addressed and the new voter registration system is ready, and it requires a highly skilled computer savvy registered officers trained to operate this advanced technology. From March 9th through the end of the confirmation period, voter registration will take place at the confirmation centers. An assistant registering officer will be appointed at every confirmation center to process registration applications. In addition, a registering officer will be appointed for each constituency to support and oversee the process. Training for registering officers will begin next week, and that will ensure that all staff are fully prepared to deliver an efficient, secure, and transparent registration process. The electoral office remains committed to upholding the law, strengthening the integrity of the electoral system, and providing the public with a registration process that is modern, reliable, and accessible. We thank the public for their patience and cooperation as we continue to implement this important reform.
All right, so on the telephone with us, the Chief Election Officer, Ms. Anthony Joseph. Good morning to you. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning, Matt, and good morning, listeners.
Well, I'm happy you reached out this morning and trying to clarify some of the issues that you must have heard there on the radio this morning. We're going to give you a chance, of course, before you ask any questions. Some people say that you're not clear in terms of the documents that some persons may need to register. Explain to us, sir.
Okay, I heard some of the comments this morning on the program, and I want to clarify to the listeners that registration will take place at the confirmation center for now. And at the end of the confirmation period, registration is not going to cease. So it will continue. However, at that point, every assistant registering officer and every registering officer will be fully equipped with hardware. As you know, we have a number of confirmation centers set out throughout Dominica, and we have now hardware at the confirmation centers. And at the end of the period, what we are proposing that the hardware will go to the homes of the AROs and the ROs so that they can continue the process. So I want to just dispel the concern of citizens that registration is not going to stop at the end of the confirmation period. But for now, it's going to be facilitated at the confirmation center. So I hope that clarifies the.
No, the point that's been made this morning, of course, for the new persons who want to register, that they have missed out on about 3 months. So what happens? Are you going to understand that they have missed out?
Could you repeat that question? Sorry.
I am saying it's obvious that persons who wanted to register, new registrants, they missed out on about three months. What is this time going to be added up?
I really don't understand your question, Matt.
All right. So okay. So the new registration stopped. Voters cease to register at this time because I heard Mr. Nassif complaining that he went to register, he could not register. Are you saying that the times that have been missed will be added?
I'm not sure what you mean by the term missed. The registration will be opened from as of 9th of March. So every person requiring or wanting to get registered, you can do so from the 9th of March. You come in, and once you have your proper documents, you go to the confirmation centers, you have your passport or your social security card and your birth certificate or your driver's license and your birth certificate. You are a Dominican citizen, you have been in the constituency, you have been residing there for at least 3 months. You work with a witness from the same polling district, and you go to the center and get registered.
So what are the documents that you may need? That was the clarification that was needed. The documents that you yes, go ahead.
For a Dominican citizen, you need your passport. Once you are 18 years and above and you have been residing in your constituency for at least 3 months maximum, then you need your passport, a valid passport, or social security card and your birth certificate, or your driver's license and your birth certificate, and a witness from the same polling district where you are going to be registered. So this is the requirement for Dominican citizens. For a Commonwealth citizen, you require to be on island at least 1 year. And you need your passport from your country and your birth certificate or Dominican ID, government ID and the birth certificate in addition to an affidavit for that. So I hope that is clear to listeners.
Now, there's still a lot of questions. Somebody's making the point, and I don't know if you're, of course, in the place to answer the question, but I'll ask it anyway. Man, this whole registration saga makes absolutely no sense, and again points to the gross incompetence in the administration of our country. You have a registration system that seemed to work for 50 years. The inclusion of technology could simply be an option to accelerate the process. Why cut off what worked when you're not able to use the technology? Every function mandated by law must have backups to continue running. It's like burning down my house before I build a new one elsewhere, making me homeless in the process. So that is what somebody's suggesting at this point. And again, I just want you said that the technology was not available for the past 3 months.
Mark, the same people who were asking for registration during the period would be probably the same set of people who probably the electoral office to task for performing an illegal process. We had the old system. We had no system to generate a new voter registration number. We were not equipped with the software as yet. We had the old forms, the old system. Persons were not trained. They were not. We had not checked yet to see if persons were computer savvy because, as you know, registration took place at the homes of individuals with a book, right? Now it is a computerized system. We needed to have a software built. We needed to have the persons trained. We needed the new forms. We needed a new voter management system that could create or generate voter ID, new voter ID numbers. Now, how would you be able to process registration without a new voter management system? So that means you would have been giving people a voter registration number under the old system using the old form, and probably the very people who are asking for registration would be the same set that would probably take the electoral office to task and say that we are using the old law to register persons. So we were not yet equipped, and because we probably gave the confirmation period a little priority over the registration simply because of the declaration that had to be made by law 30 days after the passage of the law. We were required, the electoral commission, they were required to make a declaration or a date. So because of the date, we had to fast forward or move quickly towards achieving that period that was announced. So that took priority so that we could get that going. It was a two-phase kind of system. So the confirmation, we kind of pushed it because of the declaration, and then we went into the registration process. And as you know, it's a whole new system. It's a whole new ball game. It's not the same with a paper where you come in and a person fills in a form. It's different, where you have to have documents, you have to scan documents, you have to take a photo, you have to do data entry. So all of those things have to be put in place. Now, building a software is not something that you can do overnight. You have to go by the law, and you have to, make sure that everything is in keeping with the law. Now, even in building that software, okay, that we found that there were areas that we had to amend in the law because you have a law, but when you come to implement, then you realize certain things that need to probably be tweaked, or something has to change so that the process could go smoothly. So all of those things are things that were happening in the back end or under the the in the electoral office. And I want to say that we have 3 senior lawyers on the team and 2 other commissioners who are with law background. So we were deliberating, we were planning, we were discussing, and we were trying our best to do the best.
3 senior lawyers, you said, of course, and we know they are in the Electoral Commission, but everybody would, and you'd understand, Miss Joseph, that these 3 lawyers are pro-government. Would you understand that?
So I sit at the electoral office and we sit and we look, we deal with what is before us. And I don't know this talk that is, I heard a statement that really I was very displeased with when I heard that the Electoral Commission was in cahoots with the government to prevent registration. I want to dispel that statement, and I want to say that we as Dominicans, we need to be more responsible in our statements and in our thinking, because which political party would not want registration to come on stream, man? I mean, come on, every political party.
Nobody. My question to you, Miss Joseph, that you have not answered, I'm saying that the world knows that 3 of the commissioners on the commission are pro-government. Would you deny that?
I cannot speak to that. We work as a team. We all work as a team. We have 5 commissioners, and we work as a team.
And you're saying all of these commissioners are independent?
Beg pardon?
And all of these commissioners are independent. That's your point.
I say we work as a team. We work as a team. We work as a team, man. Okay? It's a team effort. It's not a 2 by one side or 3 on the other side. We work as a team. That's why we have commission meetings and there are discussions and decisions have to be taken. Okay? So 1 person or 2 persons or 3 persons kind of do what they want. It has to be a discussion. It has to be a deliberation and a decision to come from a meeting. So we work together as a team. The 5 come we work together. So I'm not sure why would somebody think that or make statements like that. I mean, we have engaged.
Well, would you agree that the new law makes provision for continuous registration? It speaks to both confirmation and registration. Hello.
The new law makes accommodation. Yes,
provision for continuous registration. So why did we have to stop?
Because we did not have an engine in ready for registration. We were not able to do registration under the old law. It took us some time to have a software built. It took us time to sit and to make decisions. Yes, it is in a law, but there has to be a transition process. When you have an old to a new, there must be a transition process. You don't just jump from old to a new. You have to put things in place for the new law to work. So if you do not have things in place for a new law to work, then you must put it in place, and that is what we were doing. Okay, so we are now ready, and I think the public should be pleased to know that we are ready to begin registration, and that will, alleviate the pressure on the political parties who are asking for registration to be opened. We are now going to resume, and I think everybody should be pleased and happy that we are going to resume registration.
All right, Miss Ansel Joseph, thank you very much. I know I have a lot more questions to ask. Oh boy. Dominica, we have with us Mr. Thompson Fontaine, Dr. Fontaine, the leader of the United Workers' Party, as we close up this week. And I saw him taking his notes, so he was paying attention carefully to that interview with Miss Ansel Joseph. I see my telephone's going crazy here. I remember specifically Mr. Commissioner Wayne James saying that we were not ready, or the commission was not ready. Clearly, there's complications here. The easiest thing to have done is to start with a clean voters list. All this confirmation and reconfirmation, and the voting process would be clear, very clear, if we had started with a clean sheet, Too much complication, too many complications, huh? A lot of people are more confused than anything else. But let's say good afternoon to Dr. Fontaine. Dr. Fontaine, you heard? Let me say congratulations to you. Of course, on the big meeting, or the meeting held there in Grand Fort on the weekend. Very satisfied, sir?
Matt, good afternoon, and to all your many listeners. And I'm learning that you have quite a few listeners. I've been surprised to see a number of persons who've told me that they heard me on Matt. I go to remote villages and people say, "Oh, but I know you. I've heard you on Matt."
Okay.
So yeah, to all of those who are listening, good afternoon. And yeah, it was a great effort. And I want to say a big thank you to all those who made it the success that it was, to those who came out in spite of the distance and just to show their support and solidarity. It was indeed a great start for us.
It continues?
It continues. We are not going to sit on our laurels. We're not going to sit. This is just the beginning. It's not the end. It's a start for us. We have many things coming forward. We will be on the ground this weekend, for example, tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow morning we are in the Pottersville area. In the afternoon we go to Woodford Hill, and on Sunday we will be at church in Cassibros, and in the afternoon we'll be around the village of Cassibros. So we are pushing the groundwork consistently, and in addition to that, we are looking to have a major public rally meeting, not a national rally, but a meeting that will have people from all over for as much as possible, somewhere on the West Coast. We are working out the details on that, but we are looking to have it most likely on March 21st.
March 21st.
Yeah. So we are moving forward.
All right, we'll talk a little more about that, but let's talk about what you just heard from the Chief Election Officer.
Yes, Matt. Very interesting. And let me say, I'm glad to hear that registrations are coming back on stream. And I want to thank the Electoral Office for heeding the call. I am still perplexed by why it took so long, but I'm happy that it is moving forward, and that everybody who have not had a chance to register will get a chance to do so. But here is my concern from what I have heard so far. Well, two things, and I'm trying to verify the information in terms of what is needed. The Electoral Commissioner, she mentioned a very elaborate,
the Chief
Elections Officer, a very elaborate means of registration. And if I'm not mistaken, and you can replay the clip, I heard her to say that to register, you need your birth certificate and either a driver's license or social security card or a passport. I don't think that's correct. I seem to, and that's the reason why I'm trying to get back to the legislation. I just retrieved the copy, and I want to confirm that. My understanding is that the registration is only based on the affidavit and the birth certificate. And there's a reason for that. An 18-year-old who is just coming out of school may not have a social security card because they're not working as yet. They may not have a passport, all right? And they may not have a driver's license because they are just getting the age to drive. So I think that is incorrect. But again, hopefully before we are through there, I'll be able to get the exact thing. But if that is what is in the legislation, that is a problem. It is going to be a problem. The registration should be as it always was. All of us, all 40, 50,000 people who've ever registered in Dominica, they did so with the use of their birth certificate and somebody saying, yes, this is the person that appears on this birth certificate. If this has changed, and I doubt it has, but because if this has changed, then we have another problem on our hands, and we have to deal with this, okay? Because you're again going to disenfranchise a number of persons. I mean, think of it, you are disenfranchising persons for confirmation who are grown-ups, who are already adults. You are disenfranchising so many of them because they don't have the birth paper. They don't have the passport, driver's license, and social security card. And you're telling me now you want to disenfranchise another size of the population, which are the young persons just turning 18, 17 into 18. Something is not right with this, and that needs to be fixed. That needs to be looked at. And I hope I did not hear incorrectly, but I think that's what I heard earlier, and that would be a real cause for concern. That's one. The second cause of concern for me is the fact that the registration of new voters is going to be confined only to the confirmation centers that already exist. And we have been making noise, we have been calling on the Electoral Commission to include the number, or to increase rather, the number of confirmation centers. Because you have whole villages that have been excluded. And it just happened that the majority of villages that have been excluded are villages that support in overwhelming numbers the United Workers' Party. I'm talking about the village of Mount Prosper, talking about the village of Warner, I'm talking about the communities of Yampis, Stock Farm, Tarish Peat, and so on. These are all very strong United Workers' Party support base, and they do not have confirmation centers in those areas. So it means, again, if an 18-year-old has to go and register, they have to find a way. If they're living in Warner, they have to find their way to Maho. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, so we have to go back, and that's the reason why in under the old system, and I simply don't understand why they're complicating this so much.
Why?
Under the old system, you had your confirmation or your registering officers in your own village. And there's a reason for that, because you come from work you come from school, or you come from work late in the day, you can jump in and get registered. They would open your doors for you, they would register you. Now you have fixed timelines on the confirmation centers. So we are continuing to put hindrances in the way of persons who are simply exercising their democratic right to vote. And this must be fixed, and I hope the electoral office will fix those issues that I've highlighted.
Let's take a few calls, because of course telephones are going. Are you there? Good afternoon.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon. I'm listening to the interview.
Yes, sir.
It's a bit incensing listening to the chief elections officer.
Okay.
Dominicans need to be incensed about all the responses that she gave first and foremost, and to pay close attention to what is happening. But let me respond directly to a concern raised by the leader of the UWP a while ago about what is troubling in the process of registration. And I'm going to put it in the form of a question. And the question is, are Dominicans, yourself, and the leader of the opposition, or not leader, but the leader of the UWP, aware that in the constituencies of Roseau North, Roseau South, Point Michel, St. Joseph, La Plaine, Kalinago Territory, Cassie Bruce, which is the other one again, that the current parliamentary representatives, particularly in Roseau North, Roseau South, are going around to young people to have them fill in their passport forms, bring it to the constituency offices for their passports to be issued. So we are in trouble because they have to be mindful of that, and they must be knowledgeable about it. There is also something very suspect now about the collusion of the Youth Development Division and the current Labour Party government in the infiltration of youth groups in Dominica and granting access by the government of Dominica to the youth groups in Dominica so that the Prime Minister can speak to them. Let us not forget that the current Youth Development Officer had been for many years in goodwill and particularly soliciting and being part of the campaigns of the Dominica Labour Party. And pay close attention to what is happening to the Youth Development Division. And that has to be. So we need to open our eyes and ears as to what is happening. Something is highly suspect in the latest operations of the Youth Development Division and the involvement of the government of Dominica with the Youth Development Division in its activities. So that is something that is highly suspect and need to pay close attention to. However, to a very large extent, there are efforts by I know it's happening in Goodwill and in Gotter, Tarish Pit, and Yampis and those places. Many young people have been asked to bring their passports from to the Labour Party office on Federation Drive so that their passports can be issued. Okay? That's a fact. So we have to be mindful of it. Now, I listened at length to the interview with the Chief Elections Officer, and I'm glad Dr. Fountain is raising those points about the driver's license, the social security gap, and the passport. And it seems to me that there may be efforts afoot to disenfranchise many Dominicans, many young people from registering, and to disenfranchise people from registering. Okay? The question I have to ask, and I listened to her interview very arrogantly, very high-handedly saying registration will begin on the 9th of March. But the question is, did they inform Dominicans that registration was going to be suspended? Did they inform them? And I think it's because Mr. Gregoire posited a letter to the public, and the person that he is, the standing that he has in the Dominican society, it must have shaken them to their roots. So now they want to respond to that. Because the very same concerns that Mr. Gregoire raised in the register have been raised by the opposition and many people for a long while. They did not respond to it. They pretended as if it was dogs that were barking, and so they paid no attention to them. Now, because I suspect it's the prominence of a certain prominent citizen has raised the concern in two separate letters, these people hypocritically and high-handedly want to now to go and talk about registration. And what they are doing is they are saying, okay, in the process of registration, we will stonewall the process. So we will ensure that only certain people are registered. This is enough fun to just stealing an elections again. And Dominicans must be incensed about it. It is time we stop lying on our backs and allowing this government and the electoral office to roll over the people of Dominica to deny them a free and fair election. This must stop. And it is time every right-thinking, advocating Dominican decides, okay, fine, another election in Dominica will not be stolen. The government must be on its trembling heels now because of the visa issue and the American thing, where they realize now they may not be able to import hundreds of voters into Dominica to vote. So they want to scheme all kinds of ways and means of measures to ensure that the next time an election is called, they again can slip in their dishonest practices to regain the power and control of Dominica. I would want to encourage the leader of the opposition, well, I keep saying the leader of the opposition, the leader of the UWP, to be mindful, to be forceful. And I think it is high time that we get some high financial sponsorship to sue the Electoral Commission, take them to court for this obvious persistent breaches. Listening carefully to the utterances of the Chief Elections Officer in your interview today, it speaks based on the tone of her voice, based on the level of her voice. This lady seems to be against the wall, and because her back seems to be against the wall, she wants to speak very forcefully and try to circumvent the religion. I heard you ask her, is there going to be an extension based on the fact that people have been denied the opportunity to register? Is there going to be an exception? That was simple baby English for kindergarten, and she kept telling you she did not understand the question. If you cannot understand simple English in a simple question, what qualifies you to be the Chief Elections Officer and to manage such a complex issue in the democratic process of a country? A simple question that lady couldn't answer. You ask her a simple question. Based on the fact that people were denied an opportunity to register, are you going to extend the registration process? She said she doesn't understand the question. And she tried to, you know something that I have to tell you, when you see you interviewing those government people, you have to do some kind of thing to awaken you so that they don't give you those kind of honey and milk questions that they're giving you for you to just take it and not be alert of how they're trying to bamboozle you. Okay? That's all I'm trying to tell you. Focus, pay attention, listen to the nonsense that they're telling you, and hit them with some kind of contradictory question, because she bamboozled you too much this morning, and I'm very sorry to say that publicly to you, but I have to say, this lady needs to be put on the firing line by some prominent citizens where she has to be accountable. The Chief Elections Officer is a constitutional position. It is not a governmental position. It is a position appointed by the President of Dominica, accountable to the people of Dominica through the Constitution of Dominica. And she needs to realize she's not an agent of the government in power. She's a servant of the people of Dominica. Okay? And this kind of circumventing watering down answers that she was. Who she thinks she's talking to? These are not the days of the 50s and 60s where people couldn't understand. Although long ago we had less university graduates in Dominica and people were more forceful and speaking out. And now we have more, everybody have bachelor's degrees, but they're more silent and quiet than anything else. So we have a less thinking population now, although we have had a more university graduating situation. But she mustn't think that these are the days when people were illiterate and because you had a position, you could tell people what they want. These days are over. These days are done.
Thank you, Simeon. Thank you. Of course, social scientist Simeon. Matt, good morning to you. Please read my message. There are people in positions of authority. Let me see if I can get that. Thompson will come back to you. You enjoy being in high office and all the perks and ranks that come with it. Stop being confrontational with the public. When asked questions or for clarification or statements, it is your job to humility on to be humble, in other words, on statements. Humility and class are not exceptions because it's your government in power. You are paid by taxpayers of Dominica regardless of their political leanings, religious affiliation. Cut the high and mighty, abrasive, demeaning attitude out. So many of you are not even qualified to be in this position. That's a WhatsApp message. Thompson, it appears that we're getting so many phone calls. We'll come back. Hello, talk to me, yes? But it's obvious some work has to be done. Are you there, caller, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
If they were not ready, why did they start?
And that's the point that Mr. Wayne James made a long time ago. They said they were not ready.
And then the first question you asked her, she could not answer up to this day. I heard Mr. Simeon saying that same thing. She could not answer. What about the Fremont gun? Is it being extended? She has never answered that question.
All right, caller, thank you. More telephone calls is 224. Are you there, yes?
Yes, Matt, I'm there.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Matt, the thing is, do you know, are you aware of any position that in this government that Roosevelt Skerritt has not fingered his way into? Do you know any position from the president down? Roosevelt Skerritt has permeated every position and put one of his cronies in it. Every last one. Not one of them is devoid of that. And that is the way he believes that he will control Dominica forever, by having his crony police chief, by having his crony this and that, now all the way to the Electoral Commission. Alas, an area where you should never have gone. Dominicans, wake up, wake up. You got to demand it. It's got to be free and fair. It is that area there, as Matt said, is not a partisan area. This is an area where it has to be democracy, a free and fair vote. You mustn't interfere with that, Mr. Skerritt. You must not go there. You already have 3 of your people in there.
And sorry, caller, that's the point I was trying to make to her. In other words, you have 3 people in your corner, but she's claiming that they're working as a team. When I heard many times that Mr. Hillary Shillingford and Wayne James saying they're fighting in there. So what is she talking about?
But Matt, that's the whole point. She herself is part of the cabal. How can she not be? Because nobody, Skerritt has not put anybody from any other side. He's only putting his cronies in every position, and now he's come to the Electoral Commission, an area he should never have gone. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Matt, somebody says, Matt, the youth registration started this week. 449, I'm not aware. She just said it will begin on the March 9th. So are they going at the back there, hello, and registering people? Are you there? Talk to me. Something is not right.
I'm there. Good afternoon.
Something is not right. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dr. Fonkin. Hope all is well with you.
Yes. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Matt, I want to agree with Simeon with everything that he said. I am still of the view that the commission should be taken to court notwithstanding the fact that the chief elections officer said that the registration is going to resume on the 9th, but it should have never been stopped, and it is still stopped. So in my opinion, the matter should still be taken to the court, because you want that if you have an election and then you file an election petition, you could also point to that case. You could also show that even before the election, you've been having trouble with these people. So in my opinion, we still need to file a case in the court where that is concerned. Another point that Simeon made that I agree with, it has to do with financing of the party. Dr. Fontaine, we need to get some big donors that could finance activities of the party. I mean, if it is we have to approach the Taiwanese embassy in St. Kitts, let us do that, and then after the election, if we have to move allegiance to Taiwan, we do that. But it cannot be that we're talking about it. We cannot raise funds and that sort of. We're in politics. We're not running a seminary or a convent. We have to start fighting fire with fire. Let us seek some donors where we could raise funds through donors or whatever it is, and so we could do these things. Thank you very much, Matt.
Thank you very much. Another comment here, Matt. Good afternoon to you. The more this woman speaks, the more she demonstrates that she cannot do the job. She's a puppet who's sitting and her strings have been pulled by 3 senior lawyers who are working for the puppet master. She said she's working with a team, but he had 2 members. I was saying, I just spoke to Mr. Chillen for a short while ago. He said, Matt, we're always fighting in there. So what are we talking about working as a team? Well said, Simeon, fearless, saying it very beautifully. But let's go back to you, Dr. Fontaine.
Matt, I am deeply concerned now that I've had a chance to confirm that is in fact what is going to obtain. We have a problem. We have a huge problem on our hand, and that must be fixed. And I suspect the only way this is going to be fixed is with legal action against the Electoral Commission, because you can't, and it is so obvious. I mean, that ridiculous strategy of this Labour Party government to put those conditions, asking 17 and 18-year-olds to get a passport for $150 plus whatever cost. You have to come from the country, you're paying $20 both ways, at least $250 to $300 to get a passport of a 17-year-old wanting to register, knowing that these people do not have work, they don't have social security cards, knowing that they don't have driver's license. So effectively, you're sending them to get a passport, and then using the deep resources of the state to give those that you want passports so that they can register and they can confirm, and the other people, what happens to them?
It's unfair.
It is grossly unfair, because I know specifically of one constituency where they had put somebody in charge of giving passports to different individuals. And that person decided, well, I'm going to give to everybody. Anybody who does not have, I'm going to give to them. When they found out that she was given to both sides, she was removed from that position. All right. So we have a problem that this government believes that they can come with this technique or this what is so-called strategy to force the non-registration of persons who they are not given passports. Then they go through the confirmation period, and then they call an election right after it, with a list of names that largely reflects labor rights. I mean, this is not going to happen. And the Electoral Commission is supporting this action and these activities of this government. And it's time to stop. The Electoral Commission is supposed to be an independent commission. There is nothing about this commission that speaks of independence. And we continue to call upon them to immediately remove these onerous conditions for registration and confirmation. Do not start on Wednesday and ask people to bring passports. Do not ask 17 and 18-year-olds to bring passports. You know full well that because this government has reduced this country to poverty, people do not have money to get passports. That's where we are in Dominica. People do not have money to get passports. You only get a social security card when you start working. You have not been given jobs to the young people. So when goodness name are they going to get these documents to come and register?
I'm just looking at a post, and of course, speaking to the point that Simeon raised earlier, it appears, I say that the Dominica Youth Division, I see a head paper there, says that the Youth Development Division asking young people to for registration there. So if the Youth Division is getting involved in this, it's a big sin.
It's a big sin, but the problem is that they are not impartial. They are favoring one group of people that they think are supportive of the government. And that is a problem. That should not be. Why are you putting this condition, especially in new registrations, where you've never done that before? That has never happened. The only additional thing that should take place is that people get a voter ID. That's all that should happen. It is ridiculous. And I will call again on the commissioner, the Electoral Commission, the Chief Elections Officer. I call upon you people that are supposed to be doing the work on behalf of the Dominican public. Stop doing the bidding of the Labour Party. This is wrong. This is unethical. What you guys are doing, and you need to stop it.
How do the youth division get involved in politics? I just don't understand. They've infiltrated the youth group in Dominica, the National Youth Council there, and now they infiltrated even the youth division. That's a very serious concern. Are you there? Talk to me. Are you there, caller? Caller, are you there? Why does government agencies have to get involved in government business? Are you there, caller? Talk to me.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your guest.
Good afternoon to you. Yes.
Matt, this is a very troubling situation we have in Dominica. My understanding, I'm not a lawyer, I don't pretend to, but my understanding of how laws are enacted in Dominica is that when a bill is passed in Parliament, it then has to be ascended by the President and then published in the Gazette in order for it to become law. If we had a situation where there were certain logistics that had to be placed or put in place so that with the new system and the new laws that were passed, the software had to be developed and those sort of things, why was the haste of the President to quickly ascend? That bill was ascended with record speed. It was ascended with record speed. And my suspicion, I'm not claiming to be correct, is that there may have been some thinking that if we ascend the law quickly, then certain things could have happened, probably a quick election or something. But the excuses I heard this morning and the tone, here goes the problem with our public servant. This is a public servant who is protected by the Constitution. And she doesn't have to do the bidding of any minister, any prime minister, or anyone. She's protected by the Constitution. And here she is genuflexing, talking down to the populace, talking down to citizens in a very condescending manner. I thought this was a political candidate of the Dominican Labour Party. You don't talk to people so. The whole question of electoral reform has been a vexing issue that has been with us for over 15 years now. 15 years, this issue, this vexing issue, as said by Mr. Charles Savre, former president, we are trying to get it resolved. And this attempt was made, and now we find ourselves in a mess because we're trying to go around something that was just so simple. New re-registration at end of the chapter. Put in the other things, get your software going, and finish with that. It tells me for us to be 15 years still struggling with electoral reform is that there's no intention by those in authority to let us have free and fair elections. And so let me warn our senior public servants again. You are there to serve the state because politicians come and politicians go. Some come for 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4, 5, some even 6, but they go. And your actions will be judged by history. Did you stand on the side of the law? Did you try to ensure that your role and function, your authority given to you to protect citizens and the state by the Constitution was effected by your actions given your training? And so let me tell these people that let us tone down and let us have conversation. But don't talk to people in that hostile manner. Who does she think she's talking to? Who she thinks she's talking to? Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, thank you. Let's take a voice note. There are many phone calls coming at this time. Dr. Tontain, I'm sure you would, of course, excuse me, the health.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
I think I suggested that once. For a one-time gesture to the country, the populace, how much would it cost any government to sponsor persons like giving them maybe the cheapest one, a social security card? Every national, give them a free social security card for their first time, especially those who want to register or reconfirm. What we need to consider in that case is what amount of people are we going to be catering for? Now, based on Dominica's population, if it's 60 or 65,000, we are not going to be giving 60,000 people a card for free. So let's say that about 40,000 people, or maybe even 35, who do not possess a passport, social security card, license, etc. And we want the state that once in a lifetime want to sponsor that, a social security card for all those who are interested in reconfirming or registering for their first time. We're giving you that ID free of charge, sponsored by the state. A once in a lifetime thing. How much would it cost the state to undertake such an activity in the interest of everybody? Forget about callers or whatever. Just a once in a lifetime gift, a gift. You know, everybody want to give gift. So the state can give a gift to the hardworking people who cannot afford. Because remember, the state gives one person a house that is worth more than $300,000. Let us put on our human aspect come to work now, and you know the olive branch, as you say, throughout the olive branch. How much would it cost the state for that to undertake such a project?
Thompson Fontaine, these are some of the issues.
Mattia is a suggestion, but I don't fully agree with it because you can do it a lot more cheaply. You don't have to burden the state with that expense. You need a passport is a travel document, for goodness sake. You cannot force someone to get a passport if they're not about to travel. That's a travel document for outside of the country, not internally. This is a simple problem to fix. Birth certificate with a witness. That's been done since we got our independence. That's always been done. People have been voting since the 60s in Dominica. They've never required you to have a passport or whatever to go and vote. This is wrong, and this should not stand. This should not stand under any circumstances. So yeah, I don't even want to entertain any idea of government paying for nothing. We don't need government to pay for anything. People will pay for the birth certificate. They're able to do that. Let them do it and let them get registered and confirmed. And again, the electoral office, you need to act. You need to move. And Matt, I think now we have to move into high gear with regards to our legal challenge to this. And I trust that the Dominican public will support us because we're going to need some resources for this. We have already been having discussions with the lawyers on this and the way to proceed. So we are going full throttle with this because
you're going to challenge the commission.
Yeah, I mean this is not fair. This is not fair. The very foundation of our democracy is being eroded by a few individuals who believe that they can maintain spirit on the backs of the Dominican public, and that should not be. We absolutely need to change this. We need to fix this, and it can be done. It can be done easy. Either the easy way, or we're going to have to do it the hard way. But this cannot stand and should not stand.
Someone says, Matt, boss, we need to clean up that voters list and re-register because it seems like the most simple process.
Exactly. You're going through all of those, even excluding whole communities from the process, right? Excluding whole communities from the process. You are claiming that people have to have degrees in computer science to do this. I mean, this is ridiculous.
It's complicating the whole process.
Just, our preference has always been for doing away with the voter list as it is now. Having a complete re-registration that can be done in 3 months. In 3 months, you can have a complete re-registration. People use their birth certificate and their affidavits. They come in, they do that, and we get this over with. All of this is the government of Dominica. It's very clumsy, and I say clumsy because even the dumbest person on this face of the world will see what they're trying to do. This government, they're trying to steal the election even before the elections are held, because they are hoping that they can register their so-called people, leave the vast majority of Dominicans unregistered. This is not going to happen. This is a stupid policy. Whoever thought about it is brainless. We are not going to accept this. Every single Dominican who has a right to register should be given that right, and we're calling again for a complete re-registration. Throw this old legislation away, come back with new legislation. There is enough time. We have 2 full years before elections are constitutionally due in this country. That is more than enough time to throw this thing out, burn it, whatever you do with it, destroy it, come back with legislation that is simple, that does not impose a burden, because that's what this government is doing. The government, and I say the government because it's not the electoral office. The electoral office seems to be toothless. They're taking their directions from the Prime Minister of Dominica. We are saying that they're not on the side of the Dominican public. Do away with that process. You're not helping the cause of democracy, and all you're calling for is for more twaka and more trouble in this country. And if that's what this government wants, they will get it, because people are fed up with this government, and they will not sit by and see this government steal another elections. It's not going to happen.
You were in Washington just last week. Did you report some of this?
Absolutely, Matt, I did. Absolutely. And there was a lot of concern, I must say, about this. A lot of concern when I explained what it is that we are going through in Dominica. I was able to put that on the table and indicate very clearly what we see the government posturing to steal the next election.
On the telephone, are you there? Yes.
Good afternoon, Matt. How are you? Good afternoon, Dr. Funkin. Matt, I'm
Yes,
calling because it concerns me and my family
Okay.
who wants to register, okay, young people. But Matt, one of the mistakes we made, listen to me well. Matt, we have a new system, you understand, of electoral. You're removing Ian and Tony. I'll continue to see that. Who knows the system? He has a law background. And you're bringing in somebody, Matt, in a new system, completely. The person never worked in electoral. And you're taking out the person that's qualified. Because it's a new system you have. Okay, she's there. Ian is still around. Ian is still in the system. Call him. Let him assist. You all put the lady out there. Let him come there and assist. Because he can do that. Now the lady this afternoon, I heard her talking about the commission, they're working together. How they working together, Matt? Explain it to me. 2 said they were not ready. 3 said they were ready. That is working together, Matt? That is working together. Another thing, you come in, you're saying about the young people that have, that's what I'm calling about my young people, that my family. You're saying they have to get driver's license, passport, social security card. Matt, 18 years to the school you working? Matt, when you get the driver's license to drive what? When you get a driver's license to drive a vehicle, so the 18 years when they get it, what they driving? You understand? What they're going to drive? So just have a driver's license. And the other thing about the passport, the person just is a young person. When they get in more to think passport, and you don't have where you go in. So I just find that it's foolishness. I'm getting upset because my family, I want to register. And that is not a political thing, That is a national issue. So this thing about young people have to get that should be out of the window, okay? And we need to fight that. That should be out of the window completely. And I'm advertising again, bring Ian Anthony there, who is qualified to, or you all put the lady there already, to help, because Ian is still in the system. Take him out from the ministry where he's now and bring him there to assist. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fontaine. You seem a little upset about that.
I'm deeply upset. This is extremely concerning that right before our eyes, people are trying to steal an election. This is deeply concerning.
Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
You're in good afternoon. This is Pocket speaking here.
Yes,
Dr.
Mr. Pocket.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Dr. Fontaine, let me ask you 2 questions, or maybe 3. 1, have you given the electoral office government a timeline as to what the country wants in electoral confirmation or registration? And if you have given them a timeline, after the timeline, what are you going to do to eradicate or to solve that problem? Other question is, you, other political parties, and concerned groups in Dominica. Have you all written? You said you spoke to the folks in the United States. Have you all written to the United States for assistance to rectify the situation? 3 questions. Good day.
All right, thank you very much. You just said he spoke to, of course, the U.S. Embassy. You think
Yes,
it should
but it's not the business of the U.S. to rectify that. This has to be rectified by the Electoral Commission. They have the power to do so on behalf of the Dominican public. That has nothing to do with the U.S. rectifying. It has everything to do with an Electoral Commission that is supposed to be independent on our Constitution, sucking up to a government that is increasingly becoming a dictatorship. And that's where we have the problem.
Somebody says they remove Ian because it's the red puppet they want and not a competent person. More telephone calls at this time, 449-309-5997. It's already 2:47. Are you there? Good afternoon.
Matt, good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to Dr. Thompson from Tape.
All right, Johnson, Boston. Good afternoon.
Boston, and your listeners at home and abroad. I heard the Chief Elections Officer, I think it was this morning you had her on, and she sounded a little angry. I think any Chief Elections Officer who worth his or her salt would be very happy if the citizens are engaged in a process that concerns them and our democracy. It's not something that belongs to a particular group or an individual. It belongs to the country and its democracy. And I'll give an example. She spoke about, I don't know what else she could speak about. I think she could come in there and apologize for the error. It's a big error there because the Constitution says there shall be continuous registration. Once you are 18 years old, you have the opportunity to go and register to participate in the electoral process to elect a government or a parliament that is responsible for the daily governance of your state, your country where you live, and so forth. And in that case, if you pass a law and you're not ready with the what has to support the implementation of the law, you give yourself time to do so. You don't rush and pass the law. Then you go to the president to send the law, and then you register the law and publish it in the official gazette and so on. And then the supporting system to help to implement the law is not there. I was speaking to a gentleman who said to me that he is a citizen here now for quite a while, many years, more than 15 years. And he went to register, and they told him registration is not available at this time. And he was asking me the question, is the Prime Minister, can the Prime Minister call an election at any time? And I said to him, the Constitution makes that provision, but the Prime Minister would not be a nuisance to call an election at any time that he pleases. He go to bed and he had a bad night and he called an election. It gives you the opportunity. There's an issue that you need to resolve, that you can do that and so forth. So he was saying, yes, you understand that. But since you do not have the opportunity to register to vote, the Prime Minister may very well call an election and you're not on the list because maybe when you call the election, they give you that window between the the dissolving the house and nomination the whatever a couple hours to get registered. You might not be available, you might be out of state, and therefore you are left out of the process. So you see it as a deliberate attempt to really frustrate people and to prevent persons from registering because they recognize the new registrants may not support the government, usually with me, and so forth. And this issue about now coming to talk about driver's license and passport, I heard Miss the young lady who spoke a while ago. The lady who spoke a while ago. I don't just mention. I don't go into that again because if you're 18 and so forth, the birth certificate gives you an opportunity to say that you are a Dominican, you attain the age of 18, and then you come with a witness to show that you live in a particular constituency and a district that you can register in. That's all we have known and so on. So no one can put all of these things. It's only people who have intention to steal that look for all kinds of tricks to do those things. But people who are clear and who are honest in what they do, will just do the thing properly to benefit everybody, whether you support them or not, and so forth. And I think the Chief Elections Officer should not get annoyed with people who are talking about the process. Your duty is to explain the process and where you all went wrong, to apologize to the public and so forth. We don't owe you any flattery. We owe you your work. You get a salary, and that is your duty. And your aim should be above all to ensure that the process is fairly managed And it's in the interest of the people, not in the interest of the Freedom Party, UWP, Labour Party, UPP. It's in the interest of the citizens, and this is to make the decision. You know, a friend called from St. Kilda said to me, "But boss, I'm listening to this thing, and I wondered what is wrong with Dominica. All of us did reform, and it did so well." I remember in St. Kitts, the Governor General at the time said that he took charge of the whole process, electoral reform process, and he said that he went to ensure that the opposition participate. He ever sit at the table to ensure that they participate in the process, and that was done. In fact, the OAS paid for the reform that took place in many parts of the Caribbean. In Dominica case, we took a loan to pay for its implementation. We spend money to get a consultant, so much money to do that. We still get a committee we paid to go over what the consultant did and make a complete turnaround for what the consultant presented, and have a new committee now to do something which we paid for. So why are we doing all that when a country is really under pressure for resources? You go to the hospital and there's a problem. You see people on the road patching road and they barely can get the thing to do it and so on. So I don't understand why we are in that situation and why we should be there.
The question is, boss, so why is it taking us so long? Why?
That's the thing, and I agree with Dr. Fontaine, who says the people of Dominica must recognize it's not a party matter, partisan matter. It is a matter of democracy, a matter of the country, because what you like today, you will not like it tomorrow. And therefore, we have to be fair in what we do. And I just find this electoral reform thing has taken so long. And we were making, from the ERC point of view, simple recommendation that could help to assist the process to go quickly and see how they went about it. And we're just wasting time with passport and driver's license and social security and all these things. It's just a nonsense, man.
All right. Thank you.
Anytime, whatever you doing, stop. You confirm to exercise your right, your vote, your party, your responsibility. This fresh confirmation process gives you the power and authority to choose your candidate. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't let it pass you by. Go exercise your right. The professor unbelievable. Your vote is important. Make it count. You make first communion. Now's your time to confirm. To vote, your Patricia Terry Shirley T-Boy Lucia Kami already confirmed. Hurry, join the confirmation process. Make sure your name is big and bold on the electors list. Go and register in your names and you can go. Make sure you walk with your witness from your polling station who is already registered. Do it early, do it fast, do it now. Call the confirmation hotline at 617-9595-275-8164. Do it because that makes you 100% Dominican.
What about things that are affordable prices? Check GBA. The one stop shop for all your parties. Check GBA. We got rum by the bottle and drinks by the cave. At GBA. We go back to live with a smile on the face. That GBA. When you talk about GBA. Located at 106B Independence Street, Toronto. Come back in the ambience of exotic rums and wine shop all over the world. We have a wide range of funky rum, Grand Fraser, Diplomatico, and so much more. Feel like drinking something fancy? No problem. We got a wide range of wines and the local cocktails just for you. So come visit us today at 106C Independence Street, Roseau, where you will come sad and you will live happy. Let us be your agent for sourcing. GBA, let's take it one step at a time, because we are the drinking ambassadors of Dominica. Things at affordable prices, check GBA. The one-stop shop for all your parties, check GBA. Come shop at your club. Dominica presents 2026 Junior Calypso Puyo Monarch this Friday, February 6th, Windsor Park Stadium, Carnival City from 5 p.m. Defending Junior Calypso Monarch Queen Melody from the Dominica Grammar School will face Eli from the Goodwill Secondary, the Reverend from Paybush Primary, Damia from Goodwill Secondary, Tiny M from Grand Bay Primary School, Mighty Jewel from the Convent High School, and Lady Calypso from Portsmouth Secondary School. Onto the Junior Booyah Monarch, Kim Possible from the Convent High School, King Zaya, Goodwill Secondary, Rinsapop, St. Luke's Primary, Ali the Star from the Goodwill Secondary, Jerky representing the Isaiah Thomas Secondary, Little D, Grand Bay Primary, and Nasha Nova from Portsmouth Secondary School. The Junior Calypso Booyah Monarch this Friday from 5 p.m. Thanks to our valued sponsors, Do It Center, Do It Best, KFC, Quapitor, S-Mart, Springfield Trading, The Glam, The Signman, Josephine Gabriel, Rapid Response, NCCU, Avid Designs, Republic Bank, Lions Club of Dominica, Bullseye Pharmacy, Lee, Lindomar, TBS Radio, Banana Tree, and Dexia.
If you look at one Belfast to sell, you're very.
They're smooth.
And then there's Guinness Smooth.
It's a brand new cool.
Incredibly smooth.
Perfectly balanced.
For a smooth and refreshing taste.
How smooth? Well smooth. Guinness Smooth.
For a smooth and refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly. Socialize responsibly.
Locally distributed by Belfast Estate Limited.
Calypso! If your roof leaking and your home flooding, fix it.
Skills of power. Net of Reef Restaurant and Bar presents Calypso on the Ring Volume 2 this is Sunday, February 8th, 7 p.m. at the Net of Reef Restaurant and Bar, Calypso Flats, featuring Monax, Sally Chess, Bob Observer Caress, and JD Dashafi and more. The sensational Cal for P-Side, National Reds, Avia, Mystery Sandy, Mighty D Checker, Mama B Baba. Backed up by the mighty swinging stars and powered by DJ Power Sounds. Also DJ Stick, MC The Web. Entrance only $20. Water Calypso Fiesta. Bon Tempo Calypso Bomache. Fish water, Chateau water, goat water, and the famous gin. Distilled in Calypso. Partners include Dream Car Rental, Bella Villa, the Dominican Calypso Association, and more.
Commissioner Atlita, the vagrant funeral, the hustle in the story.
Water Calypso Party Mission this Sunday in Calypso. Lego Jacket Back Calypso Calypso. Wakaila, Lutut, Kaila.
Calypso.
Club of Dominica and the Flow presents the original South and Punch All White Affair Fantasy Island. February 15th, that's Carnival Sunday from 3 p.m. at Zaman Park in Maho. Hosted by the one and only Ezra the Front Machine alongside Emmanuel out of St. Lucia, LED Bad Artists out of Grenada, Philadelphia, Rio, Sweet Stars, and Man in Harmony. DJ Lineup, DJ Flip the Boss, DJ Snow, DJ Spawner, DJ Chang out of St. Lucia, Unstoppable DJ, DJ Alfie, the legendary DJ Cut, Stinker Supreme, and Hollywood HD out of St. Lucia. Complimentary styles, fish water, and punch until stocks last. Proceeds go towards community development and also parking development. Tickets available at Shop TM, Bullseye Pharmacy, Cubis Cut, Network Trading, and it's only $140 East dollars. Stout and Punch, the only place to be this Carnival Sunday, February 15th. See you there.
All right, let's continue, of course, taking some voice notes this afternoon. Let's do this. Oh, let's see if it's one works. Sorry about that. Let's go back there.
Matt Peltier, I'm calling you. It's a nightmare. So I'm sending you this voice note. Good afternoon, Dr. Fontaine. Matt, the incompetence of the current chief elections officer is glaring, too glaring. And one may say that I'm getting to a jugular. Yes, I am. And I am because she is a partisan. She is a Labour Party operative. And double underline that. She is a Labour Party operative. And she was put in that office to do the biddings of the Labour Party. The lady did not even know until you asked her, or in fact you suggested to her, that the continuous registration is in the new law. The long and short of it is that these people wanted to rush this thing down the throat of Dominicans in order to get their people to get confirmed for independence, right? That's why Mr. Skerritt said there should have been no delay. They should have been ready by the 15th of October. And 15th of October, like little boys with toys, they started the re-registration, even when we were warned by the two other electoral commissioners that the commission was not ready.
Not ready.
The commission could not be ready. Matt, here is something else that they are hoodwinking Dominicans on. From the time the law was passed, right, the electoral commission stopped registering new voters. That did not have anything to do with the system.
Oh, sorry about that, Dr. Rodney. All right, let's see if we can continue here. Let's see.
Because there was no system operating then. They stopped registering new voters. Quite apart from the puerile thought that you could have gone into something, having the law in your hands and not being adequately ready for it to register, to do both. Quite apart from that, what they're doing now is hoodwinking us. And Dominicans must raise the heat. They must raise the heat because the government and the three commissioners of the government, right? These are the people who form the Electoral Commission. Mr. Wayne James and Mr. Shillingford are on the commission, but their voices are not regarded and respected. And they have told us exactly what's happening there. So we have the information. The three commissioners, the two Lawrences, and Mr. Whatever his name is, the president, the chairman of the commission. These are government commissioners, Mr. Duncan Stowe. They are government-appointed people. Mr. Skerry told us he don't agree with them, but they're representing him. They have never changed what he don't agree with them on. These people are hoodwinking us, and we must raise the heat on them in all forums. The court, the street, the radio. People must raise the heat on this nonsense. And finally, Matt, why would you take a brand new person to be chief elections officer when you are doing a whole revamp of the system? You already know that you were not choosing the easier system that Antigua chose. Antigua had a re-registration without fanfare. In 3 months, everybody was re-registered in Antigua. The government did not want that because they wanted to reconfirm their IL and visa well overseas to vote for them. So they made it complicated for that reason. And in the voice of the former Attorney General, we did not want to disenfranchise these people. No, you disenfranchising Dominicans in Dominica who wants to register. This is highway robbery. And we must raise the heat on these people to do something about that. Pack it, change it, take it out, decalé, whatever it is. We cannot keep having this nonsense happening to us. And whereas the Labour Party wants to win an election by all means necessary with a flawed list. Okay? Thank you.
Dr. Fontaine, it appears that everybody seemed very upset about
Upset, yes, Matt, very upset. But I want to make a very important point there, and especially for our new registrants. But I stressed it very, very powerfully before. But in Article 8.3 of the Elections Act, all right? So 8.3 says that subject to sub-regulation, an applicant who under Section 8.1 as a citizen of Dominica, and that is why I don't understand why that was not stressed by the Chief Elections Officer, because that's critical, what it says in Section 3. Subsection 3, Section 8, Subsection 3. Subject to sub-regulation for an applicant who under Section 8.1 of the Act claims as a citizen of Dominica to be qualified for registration as an elector shall furnish with the application one government-issued ID bearing a photograph of the applicant and one Government of Dominica issued certificate of birth or other official document authenticating the identity of the applicant or an affidavit of identification in the form. So what I've just read, it says that you need one government-issued ID, and that's where the passport, social security, and driver's license comes in. But listen to what 4 says. 4 says, in support of an application, a registering officer may accept, in place of the documents specified in sub-regulation 3, the documents we just spoke about, the passport, the birth certificate, and so on, an affidavit of identity together with the applicant's certificate of birth and a passport-sized photograph certified by a justice of the peace to be a true photograph of the applicant. So in other words, but you heard where she was going this morning. She only mentioned the government-issued ID. She did not mention this one. We just not call for the government-issued ID, but it allows for you to use an affidavit of identity, a birth certificate, and a passport-sized photograph by the Justice of the Peace. So that is according to our Registration of Electors Act, Section 8, subsection 4. Okay, so at least that makes it easier in terms of the registering, because as I said, I would think 90% of 17, 18-year-olds going to register, especially the new registrants, would not have any of those government-issued ID. So it does allow for that. And I would hope the next time you speak to the Chief Elections Officer, she in fact stress Section 4 instead of Section 3 to the general public.
Hello, talk to me, yes? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Doc.
Yes, good afternoon.
Matt, I have been listening, and I hate foolishness. I hate foolishness, and this foolishness has to stop. We asked them in Dominica, are you all ready for this recertify business? Yes. Today you saying you're ready again. So how many times you ready? How many times will you be ready? All they had to do is to throw away that voters list and do a complete new list. If they had done that, they would finish already. Today, where are they? They do their stuff so they can be in the disease called volleritis. The volleritis didn't work, so now they are ready. Dominicans need to put their foot down and say enough is enough and call the international people out there to help them. I hate all this nonsense. And their pal rep, the people sitting at their home and their pal rep making their passport for them in Roseau, bringing it for them in the country, bringing it to register via their country ban on the side, and these people get their passport. What about the honest voters out there that cannot do that? So the opposition people have to open their eyes and see this thing happening. Let the world know this thing is happening. I'm not telling you what they say, I'm telling you what happened. I'm not calling names because my bike had bar. I don't have lawyer in Dominica, so I cannot call names. And if I call names, it will hurt my personal people. But this is wrong. Like I said to her, it is wrong. If one said getting passport done, all should get it done. And it's time Dominicans have to stand up. I am not there. They will say, oh, why you are not there? I'm not there. Everybody cannot be there. This foolishness has to stop. And Dr. Thompson Fontaine, don't give up. Your mother and your father didn't teach you to give up. Don't give up. When you go in the garden and you fall, the wedging fig break in two, you still have to pick it up and bring it up to the root. So don't give up. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm listening.
Good afternoon to you and all Dominicans, as well as Dr. Fountain. Matt, the Chief Elections Officer, just left Dominicans dizzy with her nonsensical merry-go-round explanations as to the reason registration had stopped in Dominica. Her attitude, again, was another thing, totally unacceptable. Matt, you didn't hear that lady, right? After she spoke, make a statement, right? You cannot talk to a lady like that, to people like that, lady. You're very haughty, and no one needs that at this time, especially when Dominicans are disenfranchised. You cannot speak to people like that. You know what that leaves us to conclude? That your communication skills, your mannerism, and your demeanor are very poor. Definitely not an attribute to the office and the responsibility you hold. Dominicans are the ones disenfranchised, and of course Dominicans should be angry. It's not you. You should not be angry, because Dominicans have a right to ask. Dominicans have a right to speak up, because their rights are being violated by the electoral office that is supposed to operate as an independent institution. Matt, the electoral office indicated they were ready to register and confirm Dominicans to the point they began in October. October. Dominicans, please note the timing. Exactly when thousands of diasporans won Ireland for the independence season, the electoral office were ready. So who were they ready to register? Open up all your eyes and see what these people are doing. Now, the electoral office said that they have registered 8,000 to 10,000 people. Then, boom, the machine broke down. Registration of Dominicans living in Dominica cannot be done. They cannot get reconfirmed. Doesn't it smell of rotten fish in that electoral office? This is an electoral office we cannot trust. The reasons why we cannot trust that electoral office in Dominica is that they have allowed the voters list to be overbloated more than the population of Dominica. They allowed illegal voters to come in from the diaspora to vote in Dominica's elections where they had no business voting in. Why they allow that? It was just to sabotage the results of the Dominican people living in Dominica, and they cannot say they did not know because every one of them saw the number of planes that were at the airport at Melvin Hall. Matt, we will never forget that infamous email of Anthony Estefans, you know. Remember, it said madness is going on at the electoral office, and if it is allowed, it will derail Skerritt's winning legacy. So yes, Matt. When Dr. Fountain said that the matter should be taken to court because it is not working for democracy and it is not working for Dominicans who are ready to exercise their franchise in voting. It is not working for them, Matt. And these people are hell-bent in keeping the slave master on the necks of Dominicans. But Matt, we remember our history. When the slaves wanted to be free, they fought to be free. And what I want to tell Dominicans is to hang in there. But come May, do what you have to do to get registered and get reconfirmed or confirmed. Because this is the only way you are going to take out that slave master off your backs. And that is the only way you're going to save Dominica. Thank you, Matt.
It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. The way we got take control in the end. Why the other countries going more than we? Never once on the attack. Always just like that. And you know we don't like that. Kind of hardship. But there is leadership we cannot stop anymore. Somebody hold him, just hold him. The man that's in for too long, but making no stop.
I think I have the deputy leader of the.
Hold him, just hold him. The man that's in for too long, but making no fall. All we do is choking, making no hits, making nothing. The man that's in for too long, but making no show.
I think I have the deputy leader of the United Workers' Party in the line there. Of course, time is running out. 3:16, 11 seconds. Good afternoon to you, Ronald Charles. How are you doing? The same Ronald Charles. How are you?
Good afternoon to you, Matt, and good afternoon to your many listeners. And of course, good afternoon to Dr. Thompson Fontaine, the leader of the United Workers' Party. Matt, this issue that interview that you did this morning have brought more concerns, questions than answers. And I believe from the barrage of persons that have called in and have articulated the issues that have not yet been answered, it is very worrisome for the country of Dominica and the nation on a whole as it relates to electoral reform. It's like it's bringing back the birth of the pain and suffering that we have gone through for so many months, including the intervention of Dr. Barron and all the important issues that he raised seems to be coming back on the plate. But I'll just say one thing. I listened to the interview. I have not yet dissected in a way that I should in terms of the electoral officer, the chief electoral officer. And she also made mention of an issue that I think may have passed us by. And I will use the word allegedly did that, where she mentioned that the confirmation officers, those who will be doing the registration and the confirmation, will have the hardware. And maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. Will have the hardware and they will have to take it at their home or whatever they would have to do with it. Matt, this to me is very concerning. And that is why I will revisit the tape. And if I have to apologize, I will. But if it's that's what I clearly heard, this is a very dangerous step that the electoral office is taking. I believe if you have confirmation centers where two of the issues have to be addressed, that is the issue of reconfirmation or confirmation and the issue of registration. Nobody else but wherever they are stationed should be secured enough that these hardware things are these hardware softwares or whatever they have should remain. So I'm very much concerned about this. Matthew, realize this: what the chief electoral officer needs to say to us, notwithstanding all what she have said this morning, one of the things that she needs to encourage the government to do is that, Mr. Skerritt, you better not call election until those things are rectified. Because I'm telling you that Dominicans are fed up with the mama guy-in and all what that has been going on for the purposes of election. And every time, every year, every cycle, there seems to be serious allegations of corruption, of mismanagement of the people's right to vote. And because of time, I will leave it there for now. Thank you for the opportunity and God bless you.
Thank you, Ronald Charles, the same Ronald Charles.
The man's have been for too long, not making no song. So come hold him, just hold him. The man's have been for too long, not making no song. He do choking, making noise, making nothing. The man's have been for too long, not making no song.
Of course, we mentioned really a former youth officer is saying, Matt, madness is going on at the youth division with this new chief. New chief, take a note, huh? Encouraging young people to register. That's not your job.
Net of Reef Restaurant and Bar presents Calypso on the Ring Volume 2 this Sunday, February 8th, 7 p.m. at the Net of Reef Restaurant and Bar, Calypso Flats, featuring Monax, Sally Chess, Bob Observer, Caress, and JD Tashafi and more. The sensational Cal for Peace-Side, National Reds, Avia, Mystery Sandy, Mighty D Checker, Mama B Baba. Just back to by the mighty swinging stars and powered by DJ Power Sounds. Also DJ Stick, MC2 Web. Entrance only $20. Water Kaiso Fiesta. Bon Tempo Kaiso Bomache. Fish water, Chateau water, goat water, and the famous gin. Distilled in Calamishi. Partners include Dream Car Rental, Bella Vivilla, the Dominican Calypso Association, and more.
Commissioner Emlita, the vagrant funerals are hustling these stories.
What a case of party, Monsieur, this
something can we see? Lego jacket bacchanal. Television guy show. Wakayla. No tooth. Kayla.
Kaiso, Kaiso, Kaiso!
Of course, I invited Dr. Fountain there to speak on many issues. We'll have to invite him back again sometime. But clearly, this registration issue seemed to have dominated the conversation. But let's listen to one or two more voice notes and allow Dr. Fountain to close up this afternoon. Hello.
Why do the young people? Why does the Hey Matt, I just kind of want to respond to some of the questions that seem to have been posed on your panel today. You asked, I think you, Matt, asked, why do the young people, why does the youth division have to be involved in government stuff? Matt, every single area of government is of civic organization has been infiltrated by this administration. You know that is how these guys have kept control on the people. Whether it's the youth, whether it's churches, look at village feasts. Look at the town councils and village councils and city councils, Matt. Every single one of these things, every one of them was infiltrated by this administration. That is how they keep their claws on people. The other lady asked the question, why can't they bring back the gentleman who was involved in the electoral process before they brought this lady who seems to be totally unqualified and doesn't even have a semblance of how to be professional? Because he wasn't a puppet. He wasn't somebody that they could just push around. So they got rid of him. Everything that this man does, everything he does is to keep his winning legacy intact. So I don't know why people seem so surprised when he doesn't do what the right thing is supposed to be, because he's never done the right thing. He has never done the right thing, and everything he does is so calculated and so strategic for him to stay in power. And that is why the people have to stand up and push back. This is the only way, you know, Matt, that we're going to get something. If you want to wait, another gentleman said he should do a big service and give everybody social security cards. He's not going to do it because it's going to work against his winning legacy. And so let me tell you, nothing that Roosevelt does surprises me. Absolutely nothing. Everything he does is with an intent to stay in power. Whether it's he or his minions, the people you can just look at it. I'm looking at another organization that they've infiltrated, and I will talk about it another time. Infiltrated. Currently, I'm looking at it. Matt, let me tell you something. Dominicans are the only ones who can stop this. Right to the U.S.? What is the U.S. going to do? We as a people are the only ones who can stop it. Whether it's through education, whether it's through, whatever medium we can use to let people, to bring this awareness to people, we have to do it, because this is our country to save. This is our country to save. And no, absolutely nothing that doesn't benefit this man's winning legacy and remaining in power, he's going to implement. No matter how good or proper it is, he's not going to do it, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. Fontaine? We have a few minutes to wrap up. As I said, we had a lot more things to talk about.
Yes.
We'll do it again very soon.
Yes, Matt. But thanks for the opportunity nonetheless. We had a lot to discuss, but this is critical because, all the plans, all of our 10 pillars, all of our desire to improve the lives of Dominicans by putting money in their pockets, by reducing the cost of living, by making life more bearable, all of that will come to naught if the system is rigged against us. So, for us to get there, we need to get the system right. And so spending time on that is important because, like I said, it's a clumsy attempt to steal an election that has not even been called as yet. So, the Dominican public are aware, the eyes of the public are opened or are opening, and hopefully the electoral office will do what is right. But it does appear now that we have to move very forcefully with the matters of the court. And we will, in fact, Matt, we have not finalized, but we'll most likely be coming to the Dominican public next week for some support, because we are going to be having the trial for the CBI case on the 23rd of February, where finally Dominicans will get some answers about their CBI money, where it is. They'll get to look at the contracts from MCI and so on.
I saw in an article that Dr. Gonzalez again warning that it's going to get serious.
Yes, absolutely. So there is a lot riding on this. The lawyers will be here in person. Up to now, we've been fortunate that they've done it. They've been able to do it via or virtually over the internet. But now they have to be here physically, and that's going to cost us, obviously. So we'll be coming to the public for some help with that, as well as for this new case, because we absolutely have to litigate that. There is no question about it. We must litigate it. They must go back to allowing the birth certificate to be used for the confirmation process, because after all, the birth certificate is the basis upon which you get your driver's license, the basis upon which you get your social security card, and the basis upon which you get your passport. So none of that would be possible without the birth certificate. We are saying, let us get back to the birth certificate, or in the other option, just get back to a complete re-registration. That would be done. You do new registrars as well as the persons already there. Everybody re-register, and we get that done in 2 to 3 months at most. So I just want to say thank you to all of Dominica and wish everyone a great weekend. And again, sincere thanks to everyone who participated last week and those who viewed. Matt, we had an unbelievable 95,000 viewers who've looked at the rally today. I believe that's a record for MO News in terms of the interest that the rally generated, and we're very thankful for that.
I want to say thank you. Thank you for participating this afternoon. I'm hoping to see you soon. As you said, you're looking for support. We'll try to facilitate that sometime soon. Thank you very much. It's 3:28 in the afternoon. Don't forget to support the young people with Calypso and Bouillon from 5 o'clock at the Windsor Park Stadium.
Dominica presents 2026 Junior Calypso Bouillon Monarch this Friday, February 6th, Windsor Park Stadium, Carnival City from 5 p.m. Defending Junior Calypso Monarch, Queen Melody from the Dominica Grammar School with Faith Eli from the Goodwill Secondary, the Reverend from Paybush Primary, Damia from Goodwill Secondary, Tiny M from Plan Bay Primary School, Mighty Jewel from the Convent High School, and Lady Kaiso from Portsmouth Secondary School. Onto the Junior Bouillon Monarch, Kim Possible from the Convent High School, King Zaya, Goodwill Secondary, Rinsapop, St. Luke's Primary, Ali the Star from the Goodwill Secondary, Jerky representing the Isaiah Thomas Secondary, Little D, Grand Bay Primary, and Nasha Nova from Portsmouth Secondary School. The Junior Calypso Bouillon Monarch this Friday from 5 p.m. Thanks to our valued sponsors, Do It Center, Do It Best, KFC, Swapitor, S-Mart, Springfield Trading, The Glam, The Signman, Josephine Gabriel, Rapid Response, NCCU, Avid Designs, Republic Bank, Lions Club of Dominica, Bullseye Pharmacy, Lindomar, DBS Radio, Banana Tree, and Dexia.
It's okay, son. Your roof leaking and your house flooding. Fix it.
Extenso Power, Net of Reef Restaurant and Bar presents Calypso on the Ring Volume 2 this Sunday, February 8th, 7 p.m. at the Net of Reef Restaurant and Bar, Calypso Flats, featuring Monax, Sally Chess, Bob Observer, Caress, and JD Dash of and more. The sensational Count for Peace Sign, National Reds, Avia, Mystery Sandy, Mighty D Checker, Mama B Baba.
I think Dr. Thompson is here to make a major announcement. I think some cleaning up of some beach on the West Coast.
Yes, Matt. Tomorrow morning, the United Workers' Party, we have agreed that we will be working together with the fishermen and the people on the Pottersville side of the seafront. We went there yesterday, myself and the president of the party, as well as Mr. Davis George, our candidate our caretaker for the Calibishi constituency. We went to meet the fishermen and the persons who live on that area of Pottersville there, right on the beach, a place where I grew up when I was going to school. That's where I lived. So it's a chance to, make the acquaintance and also to meet these people. But we noticed that the beach was very untidy after burial. They had piled up stacks of debris all along the beach. And they were complaining that, sometimes the tourists walk down on the beach and then they're taking pictures of debris and all of these, pieces of discarded stuff and all of that. So we decided that we would come back and do a cleanup with them. So we're doing that tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So we want all those in Pottersville that we met yesterday. We want to see you come tomorrow morning. Let's get to work and clean up this beach in a way that would please everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. So join the people of Pottersville as they participate in this beach cleanup. All right. So from 8 o'clock tomorrow, if you have some time, join the executive of the United Workers Party and help with the cleanup campaign at the Pottersville Beach there. Okay. Thank you very much, Dominica. I'll see you again tomorrow morning, same time. More gospel inspiration. Stick around.
Rotary Club of Dominica and the Flow presents the original South and Punch All White Affair, Fantasy Island. February 15th, that's Carnival Sunday from 3 p.m. at Zaman Park in Maho. Hosted by the one and only Elvira the Fun Machine alongside Timran Nerdy out of St. Lucia, LED band artists out of Grenada, Trilogy, Rio, Sweet Stars, and Man in Harmony. DJ Lineup, DJ Flip the Boss, DJ Snow, DJ Spawner, DJ Chang out of St. Lucia, Unstoppable DJ, DJ Afi, the legendary DJ Cut, Stinker Supreme, and Hollywood HP out of St. Lucia. Complimentary styles, fish water, and punch until stops last. Proceeds go towards community development and also there's parking available. Tickets available at Shop TM, Bullseye Pharmacy, Cupid Cut, Network Trading, and it's only $140 EC. Stout and Punch, the only place to be this Carnival Sunday, February 15th. See you there.
It's a shame. It's a shame. The way we can take control in the end. Twice. When you know, why the other countries going more than we? Never once on the attack. Always just like that. And you know it goes like that. Some kind of hardship. I'm very pleaded. We cannot stop anymore. See somebody holding, just holding. The man that's been for too long, but making no stop. See somebody holding, just holding. The man that's been for too long, but making no stop. All we do is choking, making no east, making nothing. The man that's been for too long, but making no stop.